This weekend, a winter storm is about to slam into more than 30 states. And here is the part that scares me. This one is completely different from anything we have seen all winter. We are not just talking snow, we are talking a dangerous layer of ice underneath it. And after this storm clears out, the first 2 weeks of March could turn into one of the most active, severe weather stretches this country has seen in years. So if you live anywhere east of the Rockies, you need to hear this. Now here is what I'm going to do for you in this video. I am going to break down exactly when this storm hits your area, hour by hour, city by city, more than 70 locations across the United States. I am going to tell you when it starts, when it peaks, and when it is finally over. And stick around to the 5-minute mark because that is where I am going to show you what happens after this storm. And let me tell you, that part might be even more important than the storm itself. But first, drop a comment right now telling me where you are watching from, your city, your state. I read every single one and I will give you a personalized forecast update in the replies. Seriously, do it right now before you forget. All right, let us get into it. Right now, an Arctic high-pressure system is dropping south out of Canada. At the same time, a massive plume of moisture is surging north from the Gulf of Mexico. When those two collide over the central United States this weekend, we are looking at a major winter storm. We are talking a swath of 6 inches or more of snow stretching from Kansas all the way to the mid-Atlantic. But here is the twist that makes this storm so different. South of that heavy snow band, warm air is going to push in just enough to flip the precipitation type. That means freezing rain. And freezing rain is 10 times more dangerous than snow. A 1/4 inch of ice can snap power lines, bring down tree branches, and make every road a skating rink. So here is the timing, and this is the part you do not want to miss. Friday, February 28th. Today is relatively calm for most of the country. There is a weak clipper system dropping through the upper Midwest into New England. If you are in Minneapolis, Milwaukee, Green Bay, Burlington, or Portland, Maine, you might see a dusting to maybe an inch of light snow. Nothing major. This is just the appetizer. Down south in Birmingham, Jackson, Mississippi, and Tuscaloosa, there is a slight risk of isolated severe weather today. A few thunderstorms could produce small hail. We could even see a brief spin-up tornado near central Mississippi or Alabama. But this is not the main event, not even close. Saturday, March 1st, this is when things start to change. Moisture begins riding over the Rockies and an elongated band of light snow develops from Montana through the Dakotas, across South Dakota, into Nebraska, all the way down to Chicago. If you are in Billings, Bismarck, Rapid City, Sioux Falls, Omaha, Des Moines, or Chicago, expect snow to start falling Saturday afternoon into the evening. Amounts will be light at first, maybe 1 to 3 inches, but here is what is happening behind the scenes. That Arctic high pressure is pushing further south. Temperatures in Kansas City, Topeka, Wichita, and Springfield, Missouri are going to drop into the 20s and 30s. Meanwhile, just a couple hundred miles to the southeast, places like Nashville, Memphis, and Little Rock are still sitting in the 50s. That temperature contrast is the fuel for what comes next. Now pay attention because Sunday, March 2nd, is the big day. Starting around lunchtime Sunday, the storm really ramps up. A sharp boundary forms across the Central Plains. North of that line, heavy snow. South of that line, freezing rain and sleet. And that line is razor thin. We are talking about a difference of 30 degrees in temperature over just 100 miles. Here is what that looks like city by city. Kansas City, you are right on the line. You could see heavy snow, sleet, or freezing rain depending on exactly where that boundary sets up. Topeka, heavy snow likely starting Sunday afternoon. Wichita, freezing rain and sleet, possibly accumulating. St. Louis, a wintry mix transitioning to snow by Sunday night. Springfield, Missouri, snow and freezing rain mix, 2 to 4 inches of snow possible with a glaze of ice. Joplin, Missouri, freezing rain is the primary concern. Moving east, Indianapolis, moderate to heavy snow beginning Sunday evening, 3 to 6 inches possible by Monday morning. Bloomington, Indiana, same story, heavy snow. Cincinnati, a mix of snow and freezing rain, very tricky travel conditions. Columbus, Ohio, snow developing Sunday night, 2 to 5 inches. Dayton, right in the snow band, 4 to 6 inches possible. Fort Wayne, snow starting late Sunday, lighter amounts but still enough to impact roads. Do not skip ahead because here is where it gets critical for the East Coast. Monday, March 3rd. The storm tracks east. Heavy snowfall pushes into Kentucky, West Virginia, and the Mid-Atlantic. Lexington, Kentucky. Snow and ice mix through Monday morning. Louisville, freezing rain transitioning to snow, dangerous road conditions. Charleston, West Virginia, moderate to heavy snow, 4 to 6 inches. Pittsburgh, snow arriving Monday morning, 2 to 4 inches. The good news for Tennessee, Nashville, Knoxville, Chattanooga, it looks like the freezing rain line stays north of you this time. After that devastating ice storm a little over a month ago, you are catching a break. But stay weather aware because models are still shifting. Now the Mid-Atlantic. This is where the models have been trending heavier over the last 24 hours. Washington, D.C., Baltimore, Richmond, the Delmarva Peninsula, all of you are in the target zone for Monday evening into Tuesday morning. Washington, D.C. could see 2 to 5 inches of snow. Baltimore, similar amounts with the potential for a burst of heavier snow. Richmond, a mix of snow and freezing rain. Northern Virginia, Fredericksburg, Arlington, Alexandria, plan for snow-covered roads Monday evening through Tuesday morning. The Delmarva Peninsula, Delaware, and the eastern shore of Maryland and Virginia could actually see the heaviest totals in the Mid-Atlantic, possibly up to 6 inches, and the Northeast. Here is the thing. A secondary push of moisture could bring another round of snow Tuesday into Wednesday. Boston, Providence, Hartford, New York City, Philadelphia. You all need to watch this carefully. Right now, the signal is for lighter amounts, maybe 1 to 3 inches for the big cities, but higher amounts are possible across interior New England. Albany, Syracuse, Burlington, Vermont, you could see 3 to 5 inches from this secondary wave. Now let me talk about the ice because this is the part that nobody is giving enough attention to. The freezing rain corridor is setting up across southern Missouri, southern Illinois, southern Indiana, Kentucky, and parts of Ohio. If you are in Paducah, Evansville, Bowling Green, or Frankfort, you need to prepare for ice accumulation. We are not expecting a full-blown ice storm at this point, but even a 1/10 of an inch of ice makes driving extremely dangerous. And the models are still shifting, so this could change over the next 24 hours. All right, we are at the 5-minute mark now, and I promised you something. Here it is. What happens after this storm is potentially even bigger. By Wednesday and Thursday of next week, all that Arctic air retreats back into Canada, and a massive ridge of high pressure builds over the eastern United States. Temperatures are going to skyrocket. We are talking 60 degrees in Chicago, 65 in Des Moines, 70s and 80s across Dallas, Houston, San Antonio, Austin, Atlanta, Charlotte, and Raleigh. By the second week of March, temperatures could reach the 70s as far north as Minneapolis, Fargo, and even Bismarck, North Dakota. That is 15 to 25 degrees above average. Let that sink in. And here is what nobody is telling you. That extreme warmth combined with multiple low-pressure systems flying across the middle of the country is a recipe for major severe weather. We are talking the return of large-scale tornado outbreaks, damaging winds, large hail, and significant flooding. The Storm Prediction Center is already flagging a moderate risk of heavy precipitation for March 5th through the 11th. Arkansas, Mississippi, Alabama, Tennessee, and the entire Ohio Valley are in the crosshairs. Dew points in the 60s are forecast to surge as far north as Missouri and Illinois by the end of next week. When dew points hit 60, that is the threshold where severe thunderstorms become a serious threat. Multiple low-pressure systems are expected to track right across the middle of the country, one after another, like a conveyor belt of storms. But do not miss the next part because there is one more twist. Even though March is about to get very warm, winter might not be done. There are signals in the extended models that the second half of March could bring another shot of cold air dropping into the country. A pattern flip. We are watching that closely, and I will have a full breakdown of that in the next video. You are going to want to see that one because if it happens, it could mean one of the wildest Marches in recent memory. So here is what you need to do right now. First, make sure you are prepared for this weekend. Charge your devices, have flashlights and batteries ready. If you are in the ice zone, have extra food and water just in case you lose power. Second, do not let the warm weather next week fool you. Severe weather season is arriving early and it is arriving fast. And remember, drop your city and state in the comments. I will get back to you with specific details for your area. Share this video with someone who needs to see it because this storm is hitting in less than 48 hours and a lot of people are not ready. I will see you in the next one. Stay safe.